Hello there, it's the 6th of May 2020 and here you are with Dan in Essex, UK. So things really are starting to come into productivity now, which is really good. It's a lovely time of year, so much to see, so much going on. So what I thought I'd do is take you out of me and we can have a look at how things are materialising here. Right, so take a look at the raised bed, starting to get food out of this now, which is really nice. So had some spinach tonight, so that was really lovely. It's really nice at this time of year because it's very tender. So the leaves are still quite small. They could get a lot bigger than this, and as many of you are aware, I was going to leave them, but I saw them there and I just had to pick some and have some for a meal. And of course, if one starts to pick them, then the plant will keep producing, so that's really good. And at this time of year, the plant has plenty of vigour to really keep going. So really tasty, these leaves. So many dishes you can use spinach for, but you know, it's just really lovely that one can now start reaping the rewards of their efforts. It's not going to be too long now until these spring onions are ready, so they'll be really lovely in a salad. And look at this garlic that I only planted a few weeks ago. Things really are moving, and things seem quite early this year. A lot of this will be the fact that the weather has been so warm. So the broad beans look starting to come. These plants will get a lot bigger. I'm still thinking whether to sow more broad beans. You could sow them now as well. As many of you are aware, I actually sowed these late last year, probably October, November time, and they were in the other bed, which when I moved the topsoil and put it here, I actually transferred the plants, and they took to being moved very well. So I'm very happy about that. Another little bean all appearing there, beans here. So yeah, so far so good with success of the broad beans. So the gooseberries are starting to swell now, and you can see little goosegogs on there like that. So they're coming on very well. All these up here they look so lovely, don't they? And more. Look at that nice little cluster under there. Certainly going to be getting a very good crop of gooseberries, all being well. So you may remember my little no-dig bed that I had here. Well, you can see that these have taken. So spinach and chard once again, very good. And I think I'm going to get an absolutely enormous crop of tayberries off of this specimen here. So that's really lovely. So I hope you can see this okay. One is starting to lose the light a little bit now, but you may remember this graft. Yes, you may remember this graft that I took a few weeks ago. So there you go. That's the rootstock there, and you can see that, excuse me, goodness gracious. Right, you can see there, look, that the scion is starting to leaf out. Very happy about that. Now, I don't know if you remember the Korean mint that I planted into this tub a few weeks ago, but you can see it's really starting to take well. And when I get a bit more of this, I'm going to be making some tea out of it. So that'll be absolutely delicious. And the grapes here, well, you can just see the sheer volume of the crop on here. It's just absolutely massive. And to think that this was grown from a cutting, and it's probably got in excess of 20 bunches of grapes. Absolutely phenomenal, really. So the cherries are getting bigger day by day. I mean, look at those. You can see just on this branch here, how many. And it's looking like I'm going to be having a very good crop of gala apples this year on this very little cute specimen, which I'm very happy to have in my collection. And the same here of Worcester pearman, starting to look like this tree is going to be carrying quite a nice crop. So very happy in those regards as well. Now, I don't know if I've shown you this before. I don't think I ever did, but you can see here this lovely succulent I've got. Well, just for the crack, I decided to take a little rose cutting of unsurprisingly, a rose. So I put it in there like that, put it in during the dormant season, and it started to leaf out. So it looks like that's taken. I've given it no special attention whatsoever other than just putting it in there and making sure it remains moist. So there we go. So far so good. Now the grafting project, I decided to change it up a little bit and go back to my old way of doing things. So you remember the two that I did, that's all the grafting I did this year. But what I've done is planted these out into these rootstocks. I've planted them out into these containers. I'm going to let them grow on, establish some good roots, and then I'm going to do some grafting next year when I've got more time to think about what I exactly want to achieve. But these are M27, which are like a cordon, okay? So, you know, if I can get one, two, there's 6 here and there's some more in other places as well. But next year I intend to be running a much more diversified and much more planned grafting project, a bit like I used to in previous years. There we go. So you can see that lots is indeed going on, and there's a lot more going on, but I'm going to be doing a lot of work on something this weekend, and provided I get this something finished, I should be able to reveal it to you this or next week. So I really have got a lot coming up, and it's going to enable me to do a lot more because there's so many things I want to do, but of course one is limited by resources, time and infrastructure and equipment. But this will be one further step towards what I want to achieve, so that's one thing to be really excited about. So there we go. Now if you like my work, please feel free to like, share and subscribe, and as always you can check me out on Dan_Home Gardens on Instagram if indeed you're interested. See you next time, and please feel free to keep posting those questions. If it takes me a while to reply to them, you know the score. I've got lots of other things to do as well, but I welcome all questions, and any way I can help people, please let me know. See you next time.